Let me show you the correct way. Then you follow what I say and watch what I do. Compare it yourselves. Just pivot attack ball. Let me explain again. Find the simplest way. Just single leg jumps. Everyone knows single leg jumps, right? Draw a semicircle backward. Brush the ground with your foot as you draw. Your side posture is then complete. After landing, your center of gravity must be on your right front foot. Your right leg gathers strength. When you're moving your steps, remember one thing, not only pivot attack, whenever you're moving, you'll always move faster by brushing the ground than by jumping. Brushing the ground will always be faster than jumping, because when you brush the ground, you're moving along the ground. If you jump, and there's space between you and the ground, it takes more time. And when you jump, it's easy for your center of gravity to fluctuate. After landing, you have to readjust your center of gravity, brushing the ground while moving. It doesn't waste time in the air. And your center of gravity hasn't changed. It's stable. Your foot is planted. Jumping over is completely wrong, including the consecutive steps you all did. Many of them are jumping. If I move like this, not only pivot, I'm jumping in the air and then landing. This time seems short. In playing, it's already wasted a lot of time. The ball moves fast. I see many people playing, they intentionally jump like this. Look at how I move. Look at my center of gravity. There's hardly any significant fluctuation. Your center of gravity is stable. Being stable makes it easier to focus on the ball. The ball moves, you move. Both are moving. Do you think you can hit it well? It's not just your issue. Even many of our junior kids, amateur coaches always teach them to jump like this. It's completely wrong. Usually it's best to brush the ground. It's equivalent to us shooting. The target is there. It's easy to hit when the target is still. If you have to run and shoot a moving target, it's even harder. It's like when you're moving around, the ball is also moving. You can't hit it. It's difficult to stabilize. The direction is also wrong. You have to move the fastest, and then maintain the stability of your center of gravity. When the ball moves, you look at it like this. If it moves and you don't, look at me when I move. I always maintain balance. The fastest way is to get your feet on the ground immediately, because when your feet touch the ground, your whole body can stabilize. When your foot is in the air, no one can stabilize. I'm stable. My sight is also stable. If your center of gravity is unstable, can your eyes not move? Your neck doesn't move. Isn't that what a chicken does? Just the body moves. The neck doesn't move. If you can do that, it's fine. So we must first keep ourselves stable, including when we're pivot attacking. We must ensure the fastest time to move into position, and then keep the body balanced, that is, brushing the ground while moving. And then the method I just taught you is in the form of single leg jumps, drawing a semicircle backward. In the form of single leg jumps, drawing a semicircle backward, with the left foot as support. After I jump with my right foot, isn't my center of gravity on my right leg? Is my center of gravity on the right leg? The left foot lands simultaneously. If you exert force with the left foot, it might be distributed evenly. Evenly distributed force leaves you with no leverage. You must ensure your right leg provides support entirely. For your upper body, all the weight, all the center of gravity, must press onto your right forefoot. The main leg of the right foot presses firmly. If your left foot exerts force simultaneously, it's as if both legs are doing it. You only have the force to push upwards. You can't utilize the rotational force of your body's side. I'll continue with a small reminder from the coach. When we use our right foot to move sideways, remember, it's the front of the foot, not the heel. Don't use the heel. If you use the heel, you can't pivot attack. It must be the front of the foot pressing over. Then the feeling of pushing out, after you've come over with your heel, your center of gravity will always be tilting backward. I can drive with one leg. Do you believe it or not? I'll drive with my right leg. I'll demonstrate with my right leg what I just taught you. This still presses on the left leg. The driving is over. That's what I meant. You force yourself to use only one leg. Your center of gravity lands on the right leg. Just imagine you don't have a left leg. But indeed, when you think you don't have a left leg, when in motion, the body must be what? Not just moving into position, nor just turning into position. You must make your body move towards your right side while pressing onto the right. Your right shoulder, your entire waist area, must press onto this part of your right leg. After you've pivoted, aim at the ball again. This underspin, no matter how much it spins, you can drive it. Once you've pivoted, one thing, first, it must be on the right foot's forefoot. Second, your right leg maintains the ability to push up at any time with this force before touching the ball. Third, the right shoulder cannot be higher than the left shoulder. The right shoulder cannot be higher than the left. This everyone must pay attention to. If you've done everything right before, if your right shoulder is higher than your left, you won't be able to drive the ball. Your body won't be able to exert force. Let me show you a correct and an incorrect one. Let's start with the incorrect one. Many people do this after pivoting, and they're unaware. Why? Because when they're pressing down, they're also pressing the right shoulder. Pressing the right foot is fine, but in the final moment, your left shoulder sinks down, and your right shoulder naturally does this. This happens a lot. Many of our players can't use the power of their waist and legs, and their waist rotations are uncoordinated, all because your main shoulder is higher than the assistant shoulder. Because when you're doing it, for example, when you see me pressing my right shoulder, right after pressing, this is all fine, but then you make one more movement. You see your right shoulder immediately rises. If your main shoulder is higher than the assistant shoulder, you won't be turning your waist straight forward. You'll only be following this route. Your legs won't be exerting any force. Your body will be like this.